I met you with my sister when you used to sit in Select City.
Okay.
And I lost your number somehow. And I think I have been trying to find your number for almost 1.5 years.
I'm so
And I am so glad. I am so glad that today I'm talking to you.
Oh, thank
It
you.
is my
so
pleasure.
grateful. I'm so grateful. What a pretty girl remembered me, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
And after your reading, I was so inspired, and I've always been inclined towards tarot, that I learned tarot myself.
Wow,
And
so lovely. That's fabulous. Tarot is so healing and it's so therapeutic, and it's so beautiful. You know, when I have some concerns, I go to my readers. One is in Japan and one is in Switzerland. I have my own readers and I rush to them, and the best of and the top of the line is my own sister, which is the queen of tarot.
wow.
It's very lovely. And then I
Yes, it is.
some very nice new oracle decks, studying them.
Yes.
And
True.
with the zodiac and with horoscope. That's very innovative and very interesting. That's something which
Yes.
true. And I've developed a new way wherein, I'm including the planet's energy and the zodiac and the houses and collaborating it with tarot. It's a very unusual way of doing tarot. So I like to, take a 5 minutes reading from you. I want to see what style do you follow, and maybe you take a 5 minutes reading from me, and you can understand what kind of style.
Oh my God! I think I'll be so happy to do that.
10 minutes, lovely. And I'm very happy to get you back here. And I believe
Thank you.
welcome, my pleasure. You booked a Astro session, pretty girl, if I'm right?
Yes.
And
Yes, I did.
Horoscope also in front of me. And if you're comfortable, can I have your permission to start your session?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yes. Okay. So we're starting your session. You're going to be with me for 15 minutes, pretty girl. 15 minutes session.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So, your horoscope, your ascendant is Pisces. So,
Yeah.
So I was saying it's about your intellect, it's about your physical disposition, it's about your temperament, it's about the body, it's the tanubhav or the physical demeanor, right? And that yours is Pisces. You're ruled by Jupiter, you're the Jupiter girl, and your Jupiter goes and sits in the 9th house. This is also giving you a very beautiful Raj Yoga. Because 9th house, the first house, Lord going to the 9th house is a Raj Yoga. And then your 9th house Lord, which is Mars, goes and sits in your 5th house. These are trinal houses. So the first Lord goes to the 9th and the 9th goes to the 5th. You're very blessed. You're like the queen. I have the queen sitting in front of me. So that's a very beautiful disposition which you have.
Okay.
And the Mahadasha in which you are is Saturn, Shaniji. So Saturn is ruling you till 2028. It's a 19-year-long Dasha, Mahadasha. And this began in the year 2009 and is going to rule you till 2028. And in this, you're doing an Antardasha of Mars till November 2022. Now, if you understand what's Mahadasha, like there are 9 planets in the Indian Vedic astrology in the Vimshoti Dasha, which is of 120 years. So this time is Saturn, right? Is the 8th Mahadasha in the cycle of the Dasha system. It begins from Ketu and it ends at Mercury. You're in Saturn, okay? And your Saturn is placed in your 12th house. And your Saturn is placed with Moon, Chandrama. See, I just want to show you. This is your horoscope. Just on a closer.
I can see
your 12 number sign, and your Saturn is going along with Moon. Now, your Chandra Lagna or your Moon sign is Aquarius, right? So what's moon? Now we understood the body, ascendant. Now we'll understand the mind and the emotion, which is moon. Moon controls the mind. It controls all your emotions, how you connect on an emotional level with people, how they connect with you. Now it's very interesting. Your mind has gone in the 12th house, as in the house placement, and it's in sign Aquarius, which means little that the mind is in like charitable work, it's in foreign lands, it's with Vedic sacrifices, it's also in monasteries and ashrams. And your mind, since it's sitting with Aquarius, it's very innovative. It's the mind of a researcher. And it's a very old school mind. The mind is old. The body is young and beautiful, but the mind is old. In fact, the body also goes in the 9th house in Scorpio. So deep in investigation, mysticism, very fond of doing a lot of research. Any subject which fascinates you or which can arrest your interest, you want to do a lot of research. This is the mind of a scientist, you know, the innovative scientist. But this is also a yoga, you know, the moon with the Saturn. It's a very talked about disposition, because this creates a yoga which we call as Vish yoga. Vish means poison. Moon is with Saturn. But don't take it in a negative way. It's also very powerful, and there's also a flip side to it. Now, moon is a watery planet. We know that the fluid, the liquid in our body, which is maybe 70 to 72%, is water. So moon rules over all the water bodies. Even the water in your water tank is also ruled by Chandrama, moon. So your moon, which is liquid, goes and sits in 12th house with Saturn. Saturn is a very icy, very cold planet. Saturn is very, what should I say, it's the planet of the old. It's the planet of the very mature. And moon is very energetic, vibrant. It's changing house every 2.5 days. And Saturn changes the same house in 2.5 years. So you can imagine, one is so slow and one is so fast and energetic and youthful. So now you understand the duality in the mind. Sometimes you're very energetic, bubbly, very playful, just like a little, pure little, sweet little girl. And the next moment you get so old and you get so mature that, you know, that disparity is there. How do you feel about this in the mind?
I think you are, on point. I am very fickle-minded. And I get bored so easily that I start something, I take 100% interest, and I think after a couple of days, my allergy is low.
You know, there
it's
is
like I don't.
I tell you, it's not even like that. You don't have a short attention span. It's just that your things of interest are very mature, and they are research oriented, and they are very innovative. And till you don't find the true metal, your mind is not settled there. But if you get subjects of your interest, then you're very happy. And you also might like to do social networking and connecting with people. Though you don't like to work in a, what should I say, you can't work in a group. You want to work exclusively. You want to do 10 people's work all by yourself. You're not somebody who can work in a group. You want to work behind the curtains. And you want to do work which is all by your own self, right? So the acceptance to take help, to work in a group is not there. But to work exclusively, you work very well. And you have such a chart that you can do 10 people's work all by yourself. So that's also a blessing which is there in the chart. And like we're discussing Saturn, now let's understand this, your Saturn Mahadasha. So Saturn controls 2 zodiac signs, Capricorn, which is falling in your 11th house, which is house of income, gains, social circles, working for the NGOs, right? That's the 11th house. It's basically a fulfillment, your desires being fulfilled. That's the 11th house energy. So your mind or your emotions getting very desirous of achieving lots of things, the desire content, and to fulfill that, that's on an epitome level, right? Because that's the Mahadasha. And the other sign, which is the Mool Trikona Rashi of Saturn, goes in your 12th house. So 12th house is what? 12th house is house of loss. It's house of foreign lands. Because in olden times when the scriptures were written, anybody going to a foreign land was considered to be very misfortunate because they are going away from their family. So that's why it's house of loss. It's also house of expenditure. This is also required in life. Sometimes till you don't spend, you don't even get. That philosophy is also there now. So this is house of the ashrams, the monasteries. Whenever you're doing Vedic sacrifices like homas, the havans. So that's all the 12th house energy. That's where Saturn goes and sits. So your mind, it's like ice. Sometimes the expressions and the feelings become very difficult for you to express and also to understand. Because now the fluid moon is with the icy planet and it becomes something which is ice, baby. This is the formation of ice, which means that frozen emotions. People might say, oh, she's such an ice maiden. She's so pretty. And there's something warm about her, but she garbs it. She cloaks it. So, the iciness, like you also might be feeling that I attract people who are not warm. I need warm energies, but why is everything freezing around? Why do I happen to intersect people who are very cold, very distant? And in fact, you get in along with people of different cultures, nationalities, different ethnicities, people from foreign lands, different cultures, they will attract you. Are you getting me? And people of different ethnicities, not from your culture. Whatever ethnicity background are you from, very different kind of energies.
True.
Right? And also, if you don't mind, and don't get discouraged, this is not to discourage you, but I just get a feeling that the romance ends. Whoever you romance or whoever you want to date, you date them. It all ends.
Ma'am, I don't know. I wanted to discuss this with you. When we met last time, I think you just looked at my face and you spoke about my boyfriend's industry even. I mean, you just looked at me and you asked me, does he work in petroleum or coal or is he related to chemical? And I was shocked because he is a petroleum engineer.
Yeah.
He is a petroleum engineer and everything. It's amazing between us. I've been with him for almost 8 years now.
Wow, that's very nice. Is he from foreign lands? Does he have work with the foreign lands?
He works in Kuwait.
Great. Let me explain you this. Why am I saying this? Because your 5th house has got Mars sitting in the sign of Cancer. It's debilitated. And the ruler of Cancer is Moon, which is sitting in your 12th house. So this is foreign lands. The relationship has to be of a man who's in foreign lands, and it's a separative tendency.
Yeah.
The man is away. You'll find to see his physical body, you will not be able to see it in a long time. That's the chart. And your 7th house Lord is going in your 8th house along with Venus, Sun, Rahu. So this is showing somebody who's very distant, very far away. Maybe you make up with the same man and you break up with him, and then again you make up, and then again you break up.
It was like that, I think 2 years ago when we could not meet.
Now what I want to tell you is that for your marriage, I was going to say that maybe, this reading is very emotional in nature. These are all about emotions. You have very challenging chart placements. Like it's not very regular and very conducive. It's very difficult. Long distance separativeness, not being able to meet person of different nationality, completely different habits. you know. So if that is not there, then the foreign country energy is there, for sure. Foreign
Yeah,
man.
I mean, long distance has been there, but now on and off he comes and we meet, and
That's
that is why this man. I am related to an NGO currently,
See, I
and
told
I
you
think
your
in the
mind
first,
is in NGO. I told you, na? Social
yeah,
networking NGO. I gave that to you, charitable causes. I discussed that. I told you it's all coming your
Huh.
reading. Wonderful analysis,
Yeah.
and I hope you enjoyed your session. We'll see.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah,
It was
satisfied.
very insightful.
I'm
Yes, yes.
so glad. And I wish you all
Yeah.
the best. And thank you so
Thank
much
you so much, ma'am. It was lovely speaking.
to read your charts for you. It was an honor. And I wish
Thank
you
you so
all the
much.
best. And my regards to your
Thank you, ma'am.
sweetheart and to your family members as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
So on that note, Om Namah Shivaya and take care.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Bye bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.